What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the rankings for the new season of Go Battle League, which is starting later today, or maybe it's already started by the time you are watching this video. Before you go into Go Battle League for the new season, please, everyone, remember to put down a star piece. Use that star piece so you get bonus Stardust with your end of season rewards. Do not forget, this is your final warning. I hope you guys all remember and don't have the, oh man, I forgot to do it and now I gotta listen to ZyoniK tell me about it moment. But anyways, this is PvPoke. You guys know it. And this is the old season, last season's rankings. As you guys can see, Galarian Corsola, Clodsire, Mandibuzz, Diggersby, a lot of the common stuff that we've seen for Alligator, Gastrodon up there with that Mudslap update, Pangoro, Shadow Marowak, Azumarill, you know, the normal stuff. Annihilate a bit farther down, but still incredibly strong because of Rage Fist. And what we have is, if you guys click at the top, it will say preview next season, or it'll just be already available because it is the new season. And you can take a look at the ranking adjustments. So shout out to Matt from PvPoke, who updated it extremely quickly this weekend. I was not prepared for the swiftness of that update, but here we are. Now, there was a lot of move changes. If you guys didn't see or haven't dove into the move set changes yet, I'll give you guys a link to this in the description of this video so you guys can go check that out. But there was quite a bit, right? Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Aqua Jet, the list goes on. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of Pokemon got new moves, so some things have mixed up. Specifically, Lapras coming up. This is going to be a big one, everyone. This is one of those Pokemon where you're going to want to add it to your roster if you haven't got it already. It's going to require, hopefully, not an elite charge TM, because you kept those Ice Beam ones all these years just in case Ice Beam does become meta, and this is the moment that it does. So, you want Psywave. It is getting Sparkling Aria with the start of the new season. So, it doesn't have it right now. You can't TM it away. It's going to get it with the start of the new season right here, right? This is a better move than Surf, and then you're going to want Ice Beam right there. Now, here's the tough question, right? And the question I think a lot of you are going to have, myself included, but I'm gonna invest further. Do you TM away Skull Bash to get Ice Beam on your only Lapras in the Great League? And I think the answer comes back to the Hypno effect, right? There are going to be circumstances where Ice Beam is not needed, but Skull Bash is, and other circumstances in broader metas where Ice Beam is needed and Skull Bash isn't. So I think it's going to be better and a more solid investment in your future to have two Lapras. One with Psywave, or actually three Lapras. One with Psywave, with Sparkling Aria and Ice Beam, so you're going to have to Legacy TM that if you haven't. One with Ice Shard, Sparkling Aria, and Skull Bash, and one with Psywave, Sparkling Aria, and Skull Bash, right? There are like 3 layers to this, so I wouldn't TM away your current Lapras. Just build another one, unless you can't, right? Unless you're completely out, then maybe you will have to TM away Ice Shard. I would hate for you to do that, but this is a reminder that whenever you get a Pokemon with a lot of moves, so like Lapras, and it has legacy moves on it from events, keep extras just in case. Even if the IVs aren't as optimal, keep the moves just in case, okay? Mandibuzz is going to be great. It is a bulky water ice Pokemon that has the Psywave fast move, high energy gain, the water hard-hitting coverage, and then the Ice Beam. So it's basically, I would say, a tankier version of Feraligatr to some extent, right? It's not as deadly as the Shadow Feraligatr with the Hydro Cannon, but it's bulkier. It's like up there on Azumarill's level. If you look at the Stamina 179, it's pretty bulky, right? If we were to compare it to Clodsire, it's slightly less bulky than Clodsire, but I think it has more, yeah, it's got more attack. It's similar defense, slightly lower stamina, and slightly more attack. So it's just like Clodsire. Now, Clodsire is up there twice with 2 different move sets. And if you guys didn't notice that the top of this meta is dark and ghost heavy, right? We got Mandibuzz, Malamar, Shadow Sableye up there because of the Dazzling Gleam update. Dazzling Gleam was not only put on the Sableye right here, but it was also updated. It is incredibly powerful this season. It got its power drop to 90 and energy cost decrease, and I believe that ended in the 45, 40. Let me just double check here. We'll go Charge Moves, Dazzling Gleam. 55, sorry, my bad. 55 is where we're thinking it's landing, which is significantly lower than where it was at before. So Sableye is benefiting from that. Here we go. Yeah, Sableye is benefiting from that. So you no longer want Power Gem if you have a Shadow Sableye. You want Dazzling Gleam. Now, this is another tough position that myself included am in. I have a Purified Sableye that I XL'd, powered up, best buddied, the works, right? And I don't have a Shadow one. Bah! And it's not something that you can just instantly get up, right? It's not something like, okay, maybe I have multiple Lapras throughout the years and we just powered up a bit, maybe use some rare candy, it's done and dusted, maybe an Elite Charge TM. No, Shadow XL Sableye is a steep investment that most trainers do not have. So if I were you in the position like I am, don't worry about it. If you have a Shadow Sableye, maybe look to capitalize on events where Sableye is there again, because once I got my Sableye, I stopped hunting it for like XL candy and all that stuff. I was just like, I'm done, I'm good, don't need it. Now we need to double dip. So this might be a Pokemon that you build maybe at the end of the Halloween event this year, because it's usually always around for that. But I'm missing out on it too, don't worry. Some of you have it ready and you guys are excited, and by all means, go for it. It looks like a really cool Pokemon. Galarian Corsola is there. Grumpig is a new Pokemon that falls under the category of it is one update away from being meta. Grumpig, one of the last Pokemon I thought would be up here ever, is not only number 7 in the Great League, but in the Ultra League, it is number 1. The number 1 Pokemon in all of Pokemon Go for the Ultra League, I should say, not Great League, for the Ultra League is Grumpig. This thing is a monster. And why is it a monster? It has access now to Psywave. We know that is a fast energy gaining fast move. It got access to both, and it got access to Dynamic Punch, and it has Shadow Ball. Dynamic Punch as well was updated to have an energy cost decrease. It got straight buff, less energy cost. So this thing now has the coverage to hit ghosts and hit darks, which is a cover for it. And then the bugs, it can still hit with Shadow Ball incredibly hard, right? If we're thinking like Ariados, right, with Lunge, the Poison Sting Lunge spammy combination, there is the Shadow Ball there to hit it. This is a hard-hitting coverage, Dynamic Punch, Shadow Ball, Grumpig, pure Psychic typing, pretty well-rounded stats, nothing crazy on like super high attack or super high defense. It is just like a generalist, but it hits like a truck with coverage. And this thing is gonna get, if you're down shields, your opponent is down shields, and you have a Grumpig with energy, and there's really no hard counter, it's more like neutral matchups, like let's say like a Diggersby, which I would consider somewhat neutral because it's not like a bug type against it, right? In terms of like there's a lunge coming, you're only gonna be hit by Fire Punch and Scorching Sands and what have you. The energy gain with shield advantage is gonna get out of control. This thing is going to be a very strong sweeper and is going to be getting shields in the meta. I'm very excited to build this. I don't have enough XLs. I have quite a few XLs, but it's getting close where I might be able to XL Rare Candy it in the Ultra League. But this is a Pokemon you guys want to add to your roster. I've already mentioned the Lapras is adding. Sableye, if you missed it, so be it. But Grumpig, something you guys want to add. And this is why you guys you always save good IV Pokemon. Whenever you're going through and clearing your inbox, Save everything. If it has decent IVs for PvP, save it. And if it doesn't have decent IVs for PvP and it's your last one, don't delete it, right? Keep everything. This is kind of similar, reminiscent of when Pelipper got Weather Ball. You guys remember that? Like Wing Attack Weather Ball? And it's like it came out from nowhere. It used to have like Hydro Pump and Hurricane and no one ever used it. And all of a sudden it got Weather Ball and then it was boom, instantly meta. It was cored perfectly with Galarian Stunfisk at the time. Grumpig is of a similar nature. Next up, we have Dusclops and Dusknoir. Both evolutions. First time I've ever really seen this where both evolutions are actually right next to each other. I can't remember a time when that has ever happened. It's usually dominated by either the second evolution or the third evolution, one of the two, but never both right next to each other at the same time. Now, Dusclops needs to be XL. This is a pretty steep investment. I have one myself. It needs Ice Punch and Shadow Punch. I've got that ready to go. I built that years ago as a spicy pick, sort of for some specialty cup, and it paid off. And now it's pretty meta. Hex also got an update. So if we look here, Hex had a damage increase and energy generation increase, which yes, is affecting Alolan Marowak, and I am very excited for that. You guys better watch out. But Dusclops is there. We also have Shadow Dusknoir. Now, you may be in a position where you don't have the XL candy for Dusclops and you don't have the Shadow Dusknoir because you didn't grab it and you didn't keep it and a lot of different things. Let's see where the normal Dusknoir is. Let's go ahead and do that. Normal Dusknoir is at 23. Which is not terrible, right? Yes, the Shadow is up there because remember, Shadow gives you the extra damage. Dusknoir is very defense weighted. It's pretty bulky, lower stamina, and has decent attack. And it's got Hex and Astonish, two great options here. Fast energy gain or multi-purpose for damage. And then you want the Shadow Punch, Dynamic Punch. You have, oh my gosh, this is a lot of charge moves here. But yeah, you want Shadow Punch and Dynamic Punch, which it got Dynamic Punch with the start of the new season. Again, I pray that you are not watching this video trying to TM these moves. This season is not live yet. I'm pretty sure I told you guys that at the beginning. But yeah, it's getting access to Dynamic Punch, which we know after covering Grumpig that it got updated as well. So, if you're in that position, you don't have Dusclops, you don't have Shadow Dusknoir, use normal Dusknoir. I think it's pretty cool. It's a ghost type Pokemon, pure ghost, with a coverage move to its counters, right? Outside of like something like Mandibuzz or Sableye to some extent. But even then, it's still great damage, right? You have Dynamic Punch and Shadow Punch. You cover stuff that you're supposed to. And even something like Shadow Drapion here, right? Which is a great counter. It's got Crunch, right, which does 80%. It's extremely spammy. This has been the meta for some time now. Dynamic Punch can still hit pretty hard. That's 52%. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, obviously in the sim, right, it gets deleted. Shadow Drapion's going to delete Dusknoir. It is, right? But how many times have you been battling where you're coming down to the wire, your Dusknoir now has one shield remaining, the Shadow Drapion comes out onto the field, it's got, like 70% health. That might be a win condition because of Dynamic Punch now. You might be able to actually win games or actually force a shield in some situations and win the game because of that, because of Dynamic Punch. So don't just brush it off if you don't have it. I would say build the rank 23, the normal one. But if you can, get yourself the rank 9 and get yourself the Dusclops when you can. But again, that is XL. All right, next we got another Clodsire here. So there's two different Clodsires, and that's interesting to note because it's all going to be about what your team needs extra coverage for. Clodsire, ever since its introduction to the game with Community Day, has been a supporting meta Pokemon. It has been an absorbing meta Pokemon, as some might say, because it's got great coverage moves, high energy gain, and bulk. And that's really what you want on a team. It's like a better version of Lickitung in my preference, because even though Lickitung was a great wall to stuff like the ghosts and what have you, Clodsire, I think, is a bit more flexible with the move coverage as opposed to the Body Slam Power Whip, even though we are in that meta. I love the Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, and Stone Edge. So what moveset you go with is going to depend on what your team needs for additional coverage, right? So if you were to have something like Mandibuzz and a Sableye, right, on your team, well, now you're really weak to fairies. You're really weak to Azumarill. So you're going to want to have the Sludge Bomb variant, right? Do you guys get what I mean? Speaking of fairies, this is a good transition. If we take a look at the top rankings there, right, just on paper, Wigglytuff stock is going to go through the roof this season. If you guys were not prepared for Wigglytuff in previous years and you've been wanting it to go away and you're tired of seeing it, I'm sorry, but it is going to be staying and it is going to be strong. This meta is being dominated at the higher rankings by dark and ghost type Pokemon, and Wigglytuff is a fairy normal with charm. It's just what you're going to have to deal with, but ultimately these Pokemon have great options to hit that with. So let's look at Dusknoir, Shadow Dusknoir, for example. This is a great option, right? You're gonna get deleted by Charm. I can tell you that right now. Let me do single battle Wigglytuff. You're gonna get deleted by Charm. That's just gonna happen. I mean, look at that. That's like charm. Like, you're gonna get deleted, but Dynamic Punch does do 50%. So there is damage to be applied there, right? There's something there, right? That normal typing is going to come back to bite Wigglytuff in a lot of your battles. So watch out. Let's go ahead and close this. Right. Now we start getting into, now we're out of the top, what we've seen there. I moved over Malamar. I'm sorry. Yeah, Malamar here. Psywave, Superpower, Foul Play. We know it. We love it. It's great. There haven't been a lot of bug-type Pokemon outside of Ariados and like Chargebug that have been kind of like super meta, and it's got an opportunity to play here. It's going to be really interesting to see, and I imagine with what we're seeing here, right? Mandibuzz, Lapras, Malamar, Sableye, Grumpig. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Chargebug be a very strong option as an anti-meta, because if you take like top 10 and go that's meta, which is, it's more than that, but let's just top 10, anti-meta stuff that can come against it. So it's going to be Wigglytuff. It's going to be Chargebug up there, right? As we scroll down, though, we have our typical Pokemon that we've seen over the years. Diggersby, Feraligatr, Morpeko, Full Belly, which is super cool. I can't wait to be able to use mine eventually. Claydol, after 7,322 updates, 72 charge moves added. Look at all the... Over the years, this Pokemon has gotten more updates than any other Pokemon, and it has never been meta. And even now, when it's chance to shine after Rock Tomb update, Mud Slap update, it's got Scorching Sands, it's got Ice Beam, it's got Shadow Ball, it's got everything. It's still met with a wall of dark and ghost type Pokemon, so it is being denied once again. But there is an opportunity here. I just got a dunk on Claydol. Claydol is vulnerable. It is 100% vulnerable. But it's got Mud Slap, which you guys know and familiar with the update. It's got Scorching Sands, great charge move there. It's got other coverage charge moves we want, but Rock Tomb is what's kind of moving the needle for it right now, because Rock Tomb got updated where it's more damage and energy cost decrease, and then still guaranteed to lower your opponent's attack. So yeah, more power and less energy. So it's straight up like just way better. And if we want to take a look, if we go to moves here and we go to charge moves and we go to rock and we go by damage, Rock Tomb is 80-50 with a 100% chance to lower your opponent's attack, whereas Rock Slide is 65-45. So 5 more energy for 15 more damage and a guaranteed attack drop. Rock Tomb is meta. It is very nice. Very nice. We like that. Very nice. All right. That's what happened to Claydol. I suspect people will give it the good old college try. But I imagine it's going to be rough to take flight because of how many waters and ghosts and darks are still in it, right? Feraligator's still going to be there. Feraligator's not going away. Mandibuzz is going to be everywhere, right? You're going to see Dusclops. You're going to see Malamar. Like, there's so many things. You're going to see Lapras. There's so many things that just want to keep Claydol down. Yeah, even though it's 15, it's going to be spicy and fun, but it's going to be a tough climb. Corviknight, Jellicent coming back up. That's going to be a Hex update that's affecting that. Togetic coming in. It got Psyshock, I believe. Yes, right here. Togetic will now learn Psyshock, which is a nice lower coverage charge move for it. Obviously it's got hidden power, but you want Fairy Wind as the fast move there. So watch out for Togetics. We got the rest of the Pokemon here. Azumarill's still great. It's always going to be great. Just because something's in the 20s doesn't mean it's not strong, doesn't mean it can't handle the meta. Something cool here, right? Furret got Sucker Punch. It's a normal type, so you got the Ghost resistance right there. It's got Sucker Punch and then Swift and Trailblaze, which is really cool. Where was Furret? Lanoon got patched. If you guys were wondering, I remember seeing that. Here's Furret. It got Swift right there. I think it also got Sucker Punch in this one. No, it's had Sucker Punch, right? Yeah, so this is more some of the spicier stuff, but that is what we're looking at, especially on day 1. There's going to be a lot of, I'm going to say, spicy stuff that come up that you're maybe not prepared for, like Rollout Blastoise, right? Got Rollout. Rollout got nerfed in terms of damage, but the energy gain is the same. Blastoise is a Pokemon that has always needed a good fast move. It has Hydro Cannon. It has Ice Beam, right? We know that's a good combination because of Feraligatr. But what Blastoise has been missing is a fast move, and now it got Rollout, which we'd love to see like Shadow Claw or something, right? But I don't even think it learns that. But Rollout is a great option nonetheless. So expect to see like safe swap Blastoises out there. This one says run with Skull Bash, but I imagine the Ice Beam as well is gonna be great because you could utilize it as a safe swap and draw out some of those grass type Pokemon or have a better answer against dragons, right? Golisopod is going to be another one. It's got Aqua Jet, and that Aqua Jet got an update, everyone. That Aqua Jet was like a long time coming. I believe it was 45 damage and 45 energy and did nothing. It was just the worst, right? It was like Aerial Ace before Aerial Ace became good. Same with Sludge. Aqua Jet, damage increase, 45 to 70. Just ramping that thing up. And then energy cost decrease. This is now a 70 damage, 40 energy charge move. If we take a look at Aqua Jet, actually it's right here. Yeah. Let's just filter by water. Oh, jeez, there's a lot. Right, filter by water. If we take a look at it, Surf is 45.75, right? Sparkling Aria is 45.80. Aqua Jet is 70.40. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. It's not as spammy as Aqua Tail and Weather Ball, but my gosh, it's a clean middle ground between something like, I mean, it's a worse version than Hydro Cannon, basically, right? It's the same energy as Hydro Cannon, but 10 less damage. But for being a non-community day move on specific Pokemon, it is nice, and that's why you're gonna see stuff like Golisopod utilize that before, because they had Liquidation before, but Aqua Jet is just now just strictly better, and really, I'm really happy to see that. There's gonna be a lot of stuff this season. I think as the season goes on, we'll cover some of the unique Pokemon that kind of pop up that are super fun and spicy. But out the first day, what you guys are gonna see, or the first week, is you're going to see lots of dark. You're going to see the classic Mandibuzz and Clodsire combination. Clodsire on the lead with Poison Sting and Sludge Bomb. Mandibuzz as the anchor. And then something like a Sableye safe swap with Dazzling Gleam. That's a team. That's just a team. Wigglytuff comes out onto the field against the Sableye. You're like, cool, baited that out. And then you sweep with Mandibuzz. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm excited. I think the Meta is the meta is but what I'm excited for is what unique things can actually pop up, right? One thing we didn't talk about actually was where is he? Swampert. Where's this guy at? Why is he so far down? Swampert, you're gonna make me search you up. You're down below. Oh, how they did our Swampert bad. Swampert now has access to Sludge, everyone. And you might be going, wow, Sludge, that's a horrible one. Well, actually, it got an update. Sludge got damage update from 50 to 70. So it's looking really strong. It's the same as Aqua Jet. So it's going to be that 45 energy, which is pretty nice. And that's a great coverage. You can now pick up that Azumarill. But you lose the Shadow Swampert, man. Remember when Swampert used to be like top 5? It was like Swampert's just everywhere, just Mud Shot, Hydro Cannon, Mud Shot, Hydro Cannon. And now it's gone. But that is that's the way things go in Go Battle League. Every season slowly shifts the chess pieces around. This is what we got to deal with. I'm excited for Lapras. I'm excited for Grumpig. I'm excited for Dynamic Punch on Ghosts. I think it'll be pretty fun. I hope it freshens up the meta a little bit. What I truly hope is that new Pokemon that aren't in the top 10, top 20 start to shine. Something really cool like Golisopod, right? Other stuff like that people bring not only to GBL but to the competitive format. I think it will be great. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.